But anyway, now let's move on to what I think is the best part of the movie, which is, of course, the music, which was done by Daft Punk.
Mm-hmm.
It just fit. That's all I have to say.
It fit perfect.
Every single scene, the cues were right, the music was correct. It felt very very much like an 8-bit, like an Atari 2600 or an NES style music track, which was kind of fun. I mean, modernized, of course, but
Yeah.
it felt like very computeristic, which I know that's kind of what Daft Punk does, is electronica and all that stuff. But it was a great joining of the two. They picked the absolute right band. I don't think it would go very well. It was the same thing that like Kick-Ass did.
Yeah.
Where like Kick-Ass had the whenever they got into like a big battle scene, they'd always play like little bubblegum pop songs, which fit really well, even though I don't really like that kind of music, but it fit really well with what was going on. Same thing happened here. It's just electronica instead, and it is just amazing. I have to get the soundtrack. I have to remind myself, but
Definitely.
But yeah. Anyway, I really enjoyed this movie. Oh, I'm sorry. What did you think of the music?
It's just pretty much everything else that you said. It fit.
I have no
perfectly.
complaints.
Me neither.
About the
Me
music.
neither.
Not a single one.
Mm-mm.
And usually I can nitpick like, oh, that's a generic opening song, or oh, that. Actually, my number one musical pet peeve is whenever they do like a 1970s flashback or a 1970s style movie, they always play. I forget the name of it. They had it in Watchmen when like the comedian dropped down out of the night owl ship to like shoot people with gas grenades. And I was like, some folks are born made to raise a flag. It was like that, but they do that in every single war movie.
Yeah.
And it's a fine song, and I get that it was appropriate for the time period, but it's just overused. This felt very fresh. This felt very, very much like
it belonged in.
Yeah, like it belonged within the world. So yeah, music was astonishing. I rarely ever get music soundtracks for movies, but that is one that I have to get. And yeah. Okay, a couple things I didn't like, and this is a short list. I didn't care for the way the world was portrayed. And what I mean by that is, it's like, in the first movie, you know it's a computer, and they play off that a lot. But in this movie, it almost seems like Tron is like, the world of Tron is another plane of existence or something, or some sort of other world that it's not internet-based. I mean, they throw around computer jargon, but it doesn't really do much.
Yeah.
It seems more like a whole nother world, like
its own like parallel universe type thing.
Yeah, it's almost like a whole nother planet. You don't really get the sense. I didn't really get the sense that it was inside of a computer, other than they were going, those are programs, those are users. That's she needs to be. I need to find the code and fix it. And they would throw around computer jargon like that. But other than that, it felt more like an Avatar. It felt more like going to Pandora. Rather than going into a computer.
Yeah. My only complaint would be just the fact that they don't really show Tron all that much in the movie.
It's very.
I mean.
It's very empty.
Yeah. I mean, all you really see for him is just one flashback, and then, spoilers. Later, you find out that.
You're talking about the. Tron the guy?
Yeah, Tron the guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they don't talk about him very much.
Yeah, they don't really show him or just talk about him all that much. And, later he's part of Clue's army, but he has the whole, like, suit and everything, and you don't really see him.
He looks kind of like, I want to say a Power Ranger, but that doesn't quite fit.
Yeah, it's... Just something like that, and I was expecting to see him more, play a more important role in stopping Clue or anything. But
he has a little thing at the end.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Like, he's basically this mercenary bounty hunter kind of character.
Mm.
And he's going on little fetch quests for Clue, and then at the very end he's like, oh, I must help the users, and he does one last thing. Does he die?
Yeah, he fell into the ocean.
Oh, that's right, yeah. He fell into the ocean and changed color. So, I don't know if he was, like, rebooting or what.
His lights turned off.
No, then they turned back on white.
Oh.
They were orange, and then they turned off, and then they turned back on, they were white. As he was sinking.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that means, like, he's in sleep mode or what.
Yeah.
Again, computer jargon, yay.
Mm.
Yeah, that was one thing. They could have utilized him a little bit more. But the movie was pretty long.
Oh,
the movie was, like, a good 2 hours or more.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't feel like it.
No, definitely
Which I
not.
liked. Oh, I really liked the weapons.
Oh, yeah.
Not just the disc blades, but, like, they had those little lightsaber-like sticks that you could fight with, and then they had the little handlebar where they jump forward and it becomes a motorcycle, or an airplane or whatever.
Yeah.
But the only thing I thought was funny is every single vehicle, whether or not it's military issue or for the games, it's basically, it has this light that follows it, which I understand it's the theme of the movie and it's the style, but it's like this deadly laser wall that never goes away, and everything has it, like even
everything, even the airplanes, and
the airplane had it
as they're flying through the air and stuff, and catching them in those walls.
Yeah, it was a really cool effect though. Like at the end when they would do barrel rolls, and they would pull back and show like the red guy blowing up, and they would show the little trail and then the spiral in the background. I thought that was cool. Yeah, the acting was pretty good in my opinion. The sound. Oh, geez. Just the sound effects.
Yeah.
I mean, not even just the music, but the sound effects were...
They were extraordinarily great.
Very, very original, again, it felt like it was meant to be there, like that's what that would sound like. And it being a science fiction movie, you don't have anything to base the sound on, per se.
Yeah.
But it fit, which is good. Kind of like Star Wars, where, like, no one had ever heard a lightsaber before, but... it makes the noise you would assume it would make, even before, like if someone said laser sword, even before you saw Star Wars, that's the kind of motion sound it would make. And the same thing happens here. You hear like when they're turning into the motorcycle or the airplane, you can hear the engines start to kind of rev up, and all the little metal clicking noises of all the stuff starting to form.
Forming itself.
Out of Legos. Anytime anyone dies or any of the programs get deleted.
They just shatter into Legos.
Yeah, they shatter into pixels, but they look like Legos to me. And so when there's that one part where Cora gets her arm cut off, and Jeff Bridges is fixing the arm, and it starts to rebuild itself. And it's like click, 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 like little Lego blocks, which was a cool effect. But one thing I hated. I am not a fan of 3D movies, at least not when it's done like this was. There's two types of 3D. There's movies that are shot in 3D and meant for 3D, like movies like Avatar, or... That's really the only one I can think of off the top of my head, but movies that are shot in 3D for a 3D release. And then there's movies like Tron, which were shot in 2D and then run through a program to make it look 3D, which it just looks cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, they even tell you at the beginning of the movie, they're like, this was a movie meant to be seen. They literally type it out on the screen. I'm not kidding. And they're literally like, this movie was in 2D and is now shown in 3D. Please wear your glasses at all times. Oh, we saw it in IMAX, by the way, which is the only way to see this movie, in my opinion. This even if it's just a 2D, even if it's just a 2D showing, see it. Actually, even if it's a 3D showing, see it. It looks incredible. The 3D effects were a little muddy, but just the overall look of the movie was fantastic. So I'd say see it just for that.
I would just say, to me, the 3D was, pretty well. A lot of the shots, they weren't really in 3D. they were kind of still a little flat, but I guess you can, you got what you need to work with when you shoot in 2D and then try to make it 3D.
Right. Well, they could do what Piranha 3D did,
Mm.
which is like, that was shot in 2D and then they wanted to make it 3D, so they ran it through a whole program, whatever. But they added in, like, a bunch of ridiculous, like, right at your face kind of stuff. Like there's this one part at the beginning when this cop girl is she's basically running, it's like summer break or something, and she's basically running the beach or trying to keep order. And she whips out this taser at this kid, but the camera shows it, so like she whips it out right in your face. And you can see the crackling electricity at the end. It's freaking hilarious. That's, it's cheesy, yeah, but it works. Here, I know not all 3D has to be cheesy. Avatar didn't really have anything that popped out at you. It was more for depth perception and trying to be drawn into the world, which worked. But here, it doesn't work because, I think, partially because of the color scheme, there's not a lot of contrast.
Yeah, between any of the objects.
It's like black guy with white lights on black background with more white lights.
Mm-hmm.
There's that one scene where Sam's dad is like standing in front of something like black, and he's wearing the white robe, and so it totally like tries to punch him out, but it doesn't quite work because it's monochrome.
Yeah.
But all that aside, it's still really well done, in my opinion. But so, yeah, good acting, good music, fantastic visuals, fantastic sound effects and sound design. The story was passable, even though some of it didn't really make sense. Characters do stuff for reasons you have no idea. Like Korra running away to distract the Tron mercenary guy, and it's like, why did she do that? Well, she's removing herself from the equation. Okay, I still don't understand, but whatever. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and like I said, it was a little over 2 hours that just flew by. They throw you in that movie. They throw you into the world of Tron in about the first 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and you're there. So that was kind of fun. But yeah, so overall, I'd say see it.
Yeah, definitely see it. If you're a fan of the Tron, of the first Tron movie, go ahead, buy it.
Yeah,
when it comes out.
Yeah, you have nothing to worry about. This is a fantastic sequel. Yeah, I'd say buy it on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever when it comes out, and definitely go see it in the theater. It's just really well done. I mean, it has its problems, sure, but if you like, yeah, exactly. I could nitpick like movies all day, but basically go see it. It's quite impressive, and the if you're a fan of like science fiction in general, even if you don't understand some of the computer jargon, but if you like Star Wars or Star Trek or stuff like that, why not go see it? It's a lot of fun. But anyway, so yeah, that's a big recommendation from both of us.
Definitely.
So, all right. Well, this has been Marauder.
And this has been Phoenix 923.
And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and see you next time.
Works for me.